So welcome back to FTLG. The next game up is Prism Run and Gun. Deschain will be playing. Handing over to you, Deschain.
Hi everyone, welcome back. I was here earlier for Resident Evil 2 Remake, and so this is another game that I do. It's a 2D running gun platformer. Pretty short. I'm gonna do some YOLO strats that you don't usually do in runs because they'll either save you a couple seconds or you'll lose your run. So hopefully they work out. I'll try it a couple times. And so once we are ready, I will count down. True, I was commentary on RE7 with Moon and Katie O'Hagan. That was super fun. All right, so time will start when I click enter on the first the how to escape level. So I'll count it down in 3, 2, 1, go. So the first thing we're gonna do is we can preload movement during these black screens, so I can go left and right to be able to get a little bit of a boost during the screen instead of waiting. Something to know about this game is that there's randomness in the gun pickups. Whoops. So here's the helmet. The helmet allows you to break floors from beneath as well as survive an extra hit. So we'll be using that throughout the game to get some spots here. These are mines. They explode. We don't want to get blown up. So this game, it's pretty fun, pretty short. I think casually though, it took me like 8 hours or so. So that's a YOLO strat. You can time the gunshot. You can hear the gunshot. Ooh, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to pick that up. Please? Oh, cool. I didn't die. All right, gaming. You can hear the gunshot during the black screen, and during that, you can do a tall jump because you can get a short jump and a tall jump. You'll do a tall jump and run towards the right and allow you to dodge that first bullet. It saves maybe like a second or you die. It's pretty much how this run goes for certain things. So you preload right there and you can jump over that saw while it comes at you. This is one of the better guns. It breaks boxes pretty quickly. Everything in this game is a one-hit kill unless you have a helmet. But you can also like pixel jump off corners. This level is kind of like just a waiting game because you have to wait for this elevator. So I'm going to throw the gun down there because it's faster to just run without a gun. So we'll be throwing weapons as fast as possible. So the first thing I'm going to do is there's a safer, consistent version to get a one cycle here. Because you can launch yourself on these side platforms. They give you a bit of a speed boost. So I'm going to throw the gun up against that wall. That's something I found recently. And then we get a speed boost. We can jump over and pass the saw before it comes back. So let's see if I get... No, I'm not going to get the one cycle. You can one cycle this where that you can break this floor before that guy shows up. I've gotten it once. The world record holder, I'm a noob, can get it most of the times. Currently, there are only 2 runners for full game. Level 7, we just do a bit more of a waiting game. It's on a cycle. Currently, there's no way to one cycle that drop because you have to break at least one box. And you have to wait for the boxes up there to get blown up as well. So I don't think being able to get onto this elevator earlier matters. We're going to wait here so there's no bullet. All right, so first YOLO strat we're going to do. I'm going to see if I can get this. Haven't done it in a bit. We're going to try to pick this up. Perfect. So generally you would want to do that safer where you don't have the saw right behind you. You can even do it closer where it's like 1 pixel behind you and you don't die. That saves maybe a second, but it's also very risky. And dying in this game loses 10 seconds. And seeing as the current record is 16:30, it's 10 seconds is a lot. So now we've introduced to guys that have bombs that are carrying them. They blow you up instantly. Oh, that's 2 shots. All right, so what I did there is what I call ledge grab. You can throw your gun over to a spot and grab the ledge with a proper jump. Generally, the last pixel will work. We'll be trying that later on, but much more riskier. So this is level 10. We're going to try to one cycle. So to do that, I'm going to jump here. I'm going to mash jump so I don't get blown up by that gun. Oh, nope, we're not going to get it. Unfortunate. Gun throws are very hard in this game. Sometimes the guns just don't want to. All right, sir. Sometimes the guns don't like being thrown. All right, we're gonna have to just wait for him. So with the one cycle, you can go fast enough where you can kill this guy and blow him up before he does a full run through, and then it stays about 10 seconds over a good level 10 versus doing the non-one cycle. So now we're into level 11, and we notice that the music's changed. So every 10 levels, the music changes. And now we're introduced to, I don't remember what this one's called. I call it the jumpsuit. I think that's what its name actually is. But it allows you to break floors and boxes. So we'll be using that later on a lot. So the gun pickups are random. Just gonna take that safer. And you got to be careful because there's a lot of different things that can kill you in this game. So the premise of the game is that you're a prisoner who's escaping. This is some kind of wild prison system I've never seen before. But
yeah, I was going to ask. I was wondering if it was one of those like 80s, dystopian movies where there's technically still prisons, but it's like, the whole planet is a prison and really it's just on you to survive.
I think it's kind of like that. There's a sequel coming out as well in December that I'm very excited to play. So this is going to be the level 13 one cycle. So before you would have to wait for that, but now we can just land on it and jump over that flame. Hopefully I can get the whole one cycle. Because you can essentially one cycle the entire level. Nope. That's all right. We're going to wait. But if you do a proper jump, you can land on this top ledge there and get onto this before it goes back. And then something recently found... Oh, I'm going to die. Oh, I didn't die. Cool. If you wait long enough, the damage from those barrels is gone, so you can actually run through them. And that saves about 3 seconds. So now we're introduced to grenades. I play this on controller. It has mouse and keyboard support as well. Whenever I have to do a ledge... Interesting. Whenever I have to do a ledge grab, I usually switch to D-pad. There we go. That's happened a couple times. Usually you can beat that. It's a very risky, or it's not risky, but it's very scary. So now we're introduced to the flying mines. These mines can ruin your run really easily. Not these ones specifically, but later on. Because the way that the bombs drop are completely random. And later on, we need them to drop in a specific spot. And I've definitely lost runs because it doesn't drop. All right, so this level, we run into the wall, throw a grenade. Wait for the flying mine to be there. You can use them to jump on. And then this is where I usually switch to D-pad. I'm going to wait a second. Oh, almost died there again. I lost a record pace run today to that same mistake. And we're going to wait for that guy to go about to where that line was so we can run past and he blows up. All right, we're going to try to do something. Oh, my bad. Wrong level. This one's first. This one has something that I called barrel skip. Essentially, barrel skip is just... Oh, I guess we're not going for... Well, we can do barrel skip, but we're going to have to do this a bit differently. So normally you would keep that helmet to get hit by that barrel. And then barrel skip is just jumping fast enough so that you don't have to wait for a barrel to drop before you run through. All right, so we're going to try to go for a YOLO strat here. I said YOLO strat, Des. All right, we're going to try to go for it. All right, we're going to try again. The way that the jumpsuit works is you can hold the jump button. I don't think I'm getting that gun. All right, we'll try one more time. I said one more. All right, might have to just do the regular strat. Yeah, we're gonna have to just do the regular strat. All right, so the way that the YOLO works, it only saves 2 seconds, but you can, the way that you can use the jumpsuit and pressing the A, holding A when you land on something makes you jump higher. And if you have 2 charges of the suit left, you can actually make it bounce between those 2 boxes and make it over the edge. And it saves, I think when I timed it, it saved like 2 seconds. But as you can see, it's very difficult to pull off. Now I stand here in case of that. I stand on that corner in case that barrel, which is also random the way they drop, hits a wall. Because that barrel is supposed to blow up the ground there. All right, so level 19. We're going to just zigzag between some saws. One of the benefits of analog. I don't know if the record holder noob, I'm a noob, SG, he plays on keyboard and mouse, and I don't think he goes for that. I don't know if you don't have enough control, or if he just doesn't really want to go for the zigzag. It saves like, I think 6 seconds maybe, I'm not sure, because otherwise you go take the handholds. So we just use some like lineups, specifically like that window and the yellow ledge. All right, so now I'm coming up onto one of the first skips discovered. This is jumpsuit skip. So the first, the game wants you to go up there and pick up that jumpsuit, but with this helmet, I can just jump here, break that box, and then just go over. I can't remember how much. It saved like 15 seconds maybe, because the way that the suit works is you have to land on top of those guys in a spot where they'll bump and hold the mine against the box. It was one of the first skips discovered. All right, we're coming up onto the roof now. So this is the last 10 levels. We're gonna go through this level, pick up some items. You can hit the boxes twice. And now, when I first started running this, I didn't one cycle this, but I found out that you can just shoot that barrel in such a way that you can just jump onto that platform and then jump over immediately without having to wait for the elevator to go up. Because you can only make that jump if the elevator's down at the bottom. So we do precise jetpack in here to be able to make it back up. To be able to get through that level quickly. That level takes like 16 seconds. Very difficult to explain. All right, so we're going to go for a YOLO skip here. There's 2 skips here. The I'm a Noob skip, which is the safer version, and my version of the skip, which is a bit more YOLO. I need that to... All right. Well, I died. I'll try it one more time. And then we'll go for the safe strat. By doing a jump off the last pixel of this corner, you can do a ledge grab throw. There we go. And you can make it over. That skips probably 15 to 20 seconds because you're supposed to break the boxes, go back and get a pair of grenades. There's a whole like set up for that level that you're supposed to do. And Noob discovered that you can just jump over. His version destroys the generator so that you have a safe landing zone when you throw your gun over. Because that jump's kind of difficult to make. So we just do a little bit of discovery here, get some jetpacks. Forget to jump, that's fine. We have the jetpack, we're good. All right. So now this is level 25. Level 25 has a little bit of minor RNG when it comes to the flying mine later on. There's also a strat here. No one goes for it because it relies on the randomness of the jetpack. It saves probably 10 seconds. What you do, instead of waiting for that bomb to blow up, you use the jetpack to explode the bottom. See, this is what I meant about RNG. Now I have to wait for this mine to show up. Try to get him to drop in the right spot. I lost a run today to this as well. All right, there we go. Darn it. So it's very difficult to go through this game without dying. Because pretty much everything wants to kill you. But yeah, I think this is like a dystopian prison type situation. I'm not entirely sure.
Is there a separate deathless category, or is there any
No,
particular reason to go for it outside of pride?
Pretty much pride as well as speed. Dying, depending on where you die in a level, you can lose upwards of 20-30 seconds. Those, actually, I need to blow up this barrel. Those flashing red points were fireworks that can blow you up. So we're gonna try to one cycle this. It requires the character to actually accept my inputs. If you don't land long enough on a surface, your character keeps his feet splayed out and you can't jump again. All right, perfect. Those saws have to be on the left side for you to be able to make it up there, and you only have one shot because that bomb blows up the step up part. All right, we're on level 27. Level 27 is probably the biggest late game run killer because the room in that hole there, which we're gonna get to, is definitely complete RNG. Hopefully we get good guns and good mines. All right, so I'm gonna stand here. I'm gonna try to not die. Thank you. Nope. All right, well, hopefully we can get the normal strat here then. I don't think that blows it up. Nope. So you can lose a lot of time here because of, there we go. Because of those mine placements. The strat that we try to go for is we break the, try to get a mine to land on that second pillar to break the ground and then jump through. And then you can jump up and toss a mine to break the bombs after you've destroyed the generator and get back up. So this is level 28. Level 28 also used to be a really big run killer until we found out a setup for this spot over here. So when that red line on the right goes about next to that black line, I'm going to jump up and to the right. That almost messed it up, but thankfully the box survived survived 2 hits. I'm still trying to figure out a way to get across this gap without having to wait because it would save so much time. But currently I can't. You need to use only 2 jetpacks because you need 2 for the rest of the level. So I haven't been able to get across in just 2 jetpacks yet. Right now we're going to just drop down here. We're going to get a helmet and we're going to use the only form of damage boost that's useful in the game. So I didn't talk about how the helmet works exactly, but when you get hit while wearing a helmet, you go invincible for a little bit. So I'm going to use that to just boost through this and not have to throw a grenade. And that saves me with 2 jetpacks, and I can just jump over here without having to throw a grenade. So now we're on level 29. We can preload to the right and jump. And this is just a timing level. So we just have to wait. One of the new things I've started doing is running to the right here, throwing my gun, because as you see, you move faster without a gun. And now we have this guy just chasing us. When he passes that air conditioner, I'm going to hit the switch. Wait for him to bump. And you were useful. I'm sorry. We have to destroy this generator. And we run our way out. Because we need that gun later on. That's why we have to throw it to the right. And so we're coming up on the last level. Because you think, okay, we've got it outside the walls. We're free. But that's not how this prison works. Be careful not to blow yourself up. All right, so level 30. We've made it outside. We're free. We're running off. But they have an attack helicopter. Thankfully, someone gives us a bazooka. So I'm going to stand here, wait for the helicopter to go to a specific spot. He should die in 2 hits. That's not good. Okay, I'm going to hold back here so I don't blow up. Perfect. Occasionally you miss a shot, which makes it very stressful. And then time will be coming up when game clear shows up on screen. And time. So that's prison run gun. Also, this is going to be very loud, so I'm going to turn it down. Or I'm just going to Alt F4, I think. Because otherwise this will deafen people. And we'll go back to the main menu. The ending screen is incredibly loud. and I apologize for that. So that's the game. So Prison Run and Gun is a pretty cheap game. It goes on sale for like 30 cents, 50 cents. So it's definitely something easy to pick up. I have a tutorial on YouTube, and there's also individual levels where you would just start from the main menu, go in if you're not interested in doing a full game run. What was my final time?
Looks like it was 18 minutes, 53 seconds.
It's not bad. That's pretty good. Yeah, so thank you for having me out here again to run this. I hope people were interested in this. Like, it's a very fun game. They have a new one coming out that has, I think, 20 levels. Probably some new stuff up. I'm interested also in one of the developers' other games, because they have like levels that are 60 level platformers that look like they have cool movement. So like, I love doing interesting movement stuff. So thanks again, everyone.
Yeah, absolutely. That was that's every kind of appeal a good beginner speedrun can have. That's 50 cents for anywhere between 20 minutes and 8 hours, like you said earlier, of gameplay. There's YOLO strats that you can lose tremendous amounts of time on. There's fun platforming, and there's apparently a lot of other games from the same developer if you're still hungry for more after playing it. Sounds
Definitely.
like a good reason to pick it up to me. Alrighty. Sarah, is there anything else to say about the run, or what we're looking forward to next?
So thanks so much for running that disc chain. That was awesome. So
Yeah,
I think we have Sonic Adventure up next with...
That would be right. Yep, with Rep G Suspenser. And if I can say one more thing first, before we go over to the next break, I would just like to personally congratulate and thank Branson Sarah on her first hosting shift for a marathon. I think she did great, and I hope everyone in chat can show a similar level of appreciation. I would clap, but that might get a little loud over the mic, so
Thanks so much for having
to
me.
you, Branson.
It's been fun.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, we'll see you again real shortly.
Let's make the most of this night. Come on, baby, take my hand. And we don't need to do the things we don't want to do. Baby, while we're young,
thinking back on all those times when I felt closed off from all that I could become. Eager but too scared to climb. Wanted to please my friends, but it felt like the end on myself. I was shut down and all drained out.
I'm living for a new tomorrow.
I'm living for the grace that carries us through our hardest days.
All that was created for me to enjoy.
I'm living for hope.
Christina Perri concerts, plot twists, wedding bells, travel, sweet surprises.
I am living for the day when I finally see that it really does get better.
I live for going on walks with my friends and family and laughing really hard at silly things.
I hope that whatever I do can encourage you that you're worth living for.
I am living for the possibilities. Yes, pain, but also joy and beauty and connection and redemption.
I am living for all of the memories that I have yet to create with the people that I love and all of the people that I have yet to show love to.
I'm living for the future of music.
मैं जी रही हूँ एक नए दिन के लिए.
I am living for the end of generational curses.
Estoy viviendo para ver el amanecer desde la colina, bailar mi canción favorita.
For memories still being made.
I am living for the Olympics because hope has not been cancelled.
Dwi'n byw ar gyfer fy nheulu, fy ffrindiau, am anturiaethau ar sêr. Dwi'n byw am y pocedi bach o golau yn yr eiliadau mwyaf tywyll.
Because our happiness is worth living for. It's worth seeing whether I can create a better tomorrow for others.
I am worth living for. That my wife and my son are worth living for.
We can all make a difference in this world, and that difference is worth living for.
We can choose to care.
We can keep showing up.
We can keep remembering and reminding each other that it's possible to change.
We've got to keep trying.
You won't have to go alone.
There are people that want to help.
There are people who know how to help.
It is all worth living for.
Your life matters.
I'm living for all those friends who couldn't keep going. And I've actually found that I'm worth living for.